Hello, and welcome to my presentation on Padlet, a tech tool that I hope to get all of you interested in using here at our school. So let me just jump right in. And here we go. All right, before we get started, let me introduce myself. I am Adrina Soto. If you don't know me by now, I teach 6th grade math and science. Correction, I have been teaching 6th grade math and science, and I am now transitioning to teaching English language arts and social studies here at Shalom Peaks Middle School with King City Union School District. This presentation is on a tech tool that I hope to implement at our school site only. It can be used K through 8, but I am focusing entirely on our middle school, which services 6th through 8th grade, which is about 850 to 900 students. All right, so let's get into this. I am going to start right here with clear understanding doesn't come from a teacher's presentation of information. It evolves through students figuring out what they are learning together. Now, for me, together means collaboration is key, which is going to take us to the too many tools to choose from. So I, as a new teacher, kept finding myself struggling with my students not being engaged in conversations. If I wanted them to tell me about any drama going on, they had no problem sharing that information with me. But, not that I asked, but they had no problem sharing social information. When it came to having discussions about sedimentary rocks, plate motion, or gems, or exponents, it was just dead silence in my classroom. Now, I have my English learners who are a little too shy because they have the language barrier. I have my students who are just shy in general and who wants to raise their hand, share in front of the whole class, and be wrong. Now, just like all of you, my classroom is not a place where anyone being wrong should be embarrassed, but you cannot control how students feel. So I was racking my brain on how to get these students to be engaged in conversations. And that is when I turned to the internet and found this amazing tool, Padlet. It is an online bulletin board that allows for multiple contributors to post ideas, images, links, videos, and so much more. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So Padlet is an online bulletin board. It's a cork board. And so the conversations are now happening through typing, through text. Of course, I would still love it for my students to raise their hands or discuss things out loud with one another, but I will take what I can get, and Padlet definitely made this a possibility in my classroom for these conversations to take place. And there are limitless ways to use Padlet, and we're going to explore in a little bit, but let me just jump right in to why I use it. Why do I use Padlet? Class participation. Like I said, I have so many students not participating in conversations, whether it's small group, whole class, they just weren't happening. So my class participation and engagement increased when I started using Padlet. They were able to participate more effectively. Not only that, they were able to show their creativity. And I'm going to explain that in a minute when I show you Padlet. But I was able to motivate my students to be creative. I'm sure you're all aware of the many graphic designers you have sitting in your classroom, and they don't have the outlet. Padlet gives them an outlet. There are endless possibilities to showing creativity. You can use it as a whole group thing. So you can have a whole class discussion where they're sharing ideas, or they can work collaboratively, as a whole class using Padlet. If you're like me and you have your kids set up in small groups, Padlet also allows students to work in small groups, again, on an entire assignment, on just sharing ideas, brainstorming. Like I said, possibilities are endless with Padlet. And you can also use it as a teacher, as a bulletin board. You can use it as keeping a weekly agenda of daily objectives, or at our school site, we have daily collaboration, 7:45 to 8:25. We are collaborating with one another. Use Padlet to keep track of all of the stuff that we're sharing with each other. It does not have to be teacher to student. It can be teacher to teacher, teacher to admin. Counselors can be involved. If you know other schools that use Padlet, you can now have a conversation with an entire other classroom that's not on our campus. Like I said, possibilities are honestly endless with Padlet. So we're going to explore it. So I need to put a new share here real quick. I'm a little rusty on Zoom. I'm a little embarrassed, so please, I apologize. So this is Padlet. I'm already logged in. I have a free account. With a free account, you have at max 3 Padlet boards. So I wanted to show you how to start from the very beginning. So we're going to go to make a Padlet. So with Padlet, they give you 7 templates to choose from, meaning you have formats, right? So they have a wall, which people post on it. There's no rhyme or reason. Now you can move things around, so there is rhyme or reason. They have a stream where it's just top to bottom. They have a grid, so everything's arranged in rows. They have a shelf where everything's arranged in columns. They have a map. So it's a map of the whole world. You can zoom in on specific countries, specific states. You can zoom in on a specific town. Canvas is also one that I really like to use. They can scatter, group, and connect content in any way. So you can have, for example, if you're studying a specific person, you're doing a biography on Abraham Lincoln, you can put a photo of Abraham Lincoln and then have different arrows going to different places. Last but not least is timeline. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity for a history class to make this as a either formative or summative assessment. And I'm going to start with showing you a timeline. So actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to start by just making a blank Padlet here. So you'll hit select whatever template you want. So I'm selecting the wall, and you can name it whatever you want, describe it. You can have an icon. Here is the address that this is what you share with your students. Whoever has this link can add to a Padlet. Whoever has the link or QR code, very simple to do. You can change your color scheme. You can change the fonts. You can allow comments on every post. You can have them arranged from first to last. You can also have the names be added to them, which is what I do in my classroom. You can require approval, and most importantly, you can filter profanities. Students cannot type in any curse words. Padlet will automatically change it. They are not allowed to do that. So you can also change the wallpaper. Now here's where this creativity comes into place. You can use a solid color, and they got every color of the rainbow here. You can use gradients. You can use textures and patterns. And this is everything that it comes with. They have pictures, so if you are feeling like it's Valentine's Day and you want some love in everyone's life, you can, if it's science and you want the solar system, if you want a notebook, I tend to favor the notebook. If you want a scroll, if you want a blackboard, the sunset, a map, you can have the tasks. If you're feeling like having fun with your kids, you can have some donuts. You can have the Simpsons house. Endless possibilities, right? Or you can upload a photo of your own. And it's very, very simple to use. So I'm going to go back to the chalkboard or blackboard, I believe they called it. And I need to go back here again one more time. And I'll just go to next. So now I can start posting. So to post, super simple. There is the plus sign here, or you can double click anywhere. Oops, double click. And you can put in a subject line. So my subject is example. You can write whatever you want to write. Here is an example of how to post on Padlet. Now, again, here's where creativity is an amazing thing with Padlet. You can upload something on your computer. You can take a photo. You can insert a link. You can do a search, or if you click the ... here, you can record yourself. You can record a video. You can simply just record Audio, you can place your location. You can link a whole nother Padlet. You can draw. You can put a GIF, web search, Spotify, YouTube. Endless possibilities of what students can post on a Padlet. And it is a wonderful, wonderful tool to use. And when they're all done, they just hit publish. Now they can move these around. Just click and drag it, right? You can move them everywhere. I'm going to now show you some completed Padlets that I have here as examples. So this first one is a history lesson. So say this is a summative assessment here. This is either a group project or a project, an individual project. Students can make, excuse me, this was my sample here. I'm going to delete this post. Students can make a timeline. So they can change the background to whatever they want. So here is a timeline of the Civil War. 8th grade, as you know, covers the Civil War. Our school district puts on a huge Civil War reenactment. So here's a timeline of the Civil War from Lincoln being the president to the first convention, all the way down to first shots fired and Lincoln's declaration. Now, if a student forgot something, they can simply go in between and hit this plus sign and add something that they forgot. Here's another example of a timeline. We have here dinosaur time periods. They were able to color code it. So here's one period. We have photos, we have information, we have a YouTube video. Now we have a different color to represent a new time frame. We have a link to a science website, more images, and now again, another time period, different color, more information, and it can go on and on and on. This is another example of a summative assessment. These students work together to map out how the steps to electing a president. So this is the Canvas template, and as you see, they arrange everything with arrows. Amazing work here. Now this obviously is like an exemplary example, but this is a student assignment. This is what a student was capable of demonstrating, all with Padlet. Here's another example, book reviews, right? So how many of you are trying to get away from read the book, write an essay, read the book, take a test? Here's a way to do that. Here's an alternative assignment that still gets the job done. Now this is a whole class. So we have an example by the teacher. She gave it a rating, a photo of it, and her summary. We have recording, audio recording of a student talking about the Maze Runner, the work of a psychological sorcerer. So we have the capability of getting away from an essay and giving students more variety, which, you know, we're all about differentiation. Here we go. Here it is right here. We can also, oops, I'm so sorry. I'm so rusty at Zoom. It's funny. Oh, this was the history timeline. So this is the map. I'm going to zoom out so you can see. You get a map. It's a little finicky. Maps are not my absolute favorite because they are a little harder to use. So here's a map of the whole world. This is an assignment map of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So I'm going to zoom in now on the area. And you would click. So students would drop a marker and then it would put a photo. So Hanging Gardens of Babylon. We have the Lighthouse of Alexandria. We have the Pyramid of Giza. Where is it? There we go. The Great Pyramid of Giza. We have Zeus at Olympia. So what they would do is they drop a marker, put in the image, and this could be a group assignment or it could be an individual assignment. The possibilities are endless. Here is the what I know, what I want to know, what I learned. We all know about these charts. We all use them. Use a Padlet, right? This is what they currently know about the human body system, what they want to know, what they learned. We've done this. Pen and paper, Google Slides, use a Padlet. Here's another example. This was a PD that I just PD that I just went through recently. Students look at this picture to try to activate prior knowledge. What do they notice? What do they wonder? They would click right here and it would take them to a Google form where they look at these maps. What do they notice? What do they wonder? Map of California. They have no idea what any of these colors mean. So they go to a Padlet because it's linked here and they type in, I notice, I wonder, on the map of the United States. They go to map of California, I notice, I wonder. Very simple. You can use Padlet for exit tickets. You can use them as formative assessments. That's how I really like to use Padlet, as a form of formative assessment. I am a huge, huge fan of formative rather than summative. I use summative, have to use summative, but Padlet is this great tool that I just absolutely love to use. I'm going to go back this way. Yeah, like I said, possibilities are endless. Here's a rubric I used when going over if this was really worth bringing to your attention, and I strongly believe it is. I judged it on its ease of use and navigation, its technicality, facilitation, and if it promotes higher learning. And I truly feel it does promote higher learning, because there's so many more conversations being had with my students that I wasn't having before. Positive issues all the way around. No real redirection other than the typical, hey, get back on task, but not because they weren't understanding how to use the features. It's very easy to use, very simple directions. There wasn't really much of, Miss Soto, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. Kids caught on quick because it's easy to use. Again, here's some reviews from other teachers who've used it. Easy access, engaging, visually appealing, fun way to collaborate, organize and build, brief discussion, brainstormings, and even final products. Again, more reviews here. Students love it. They learn. It's recommended. Of course, there's cons, like anything, and they're here for you to read. More thought towards encouraging teachers to use it for alternative assessment. Now you can. I use it. Padlet does not teach you how. You have to do it on your own. And integration with more software, that's a little bit of like a little upgrade that Padlet should do. All right, dollars and cents. I showed you all the capabilities. Now let me tell you about the cost. Now, before I get going here, please know there is a free account. I have a free account. However, you max out at 3 Padlet boards, and the uploading capability isn't as much. So the amazing thing about Padlet is they know who is using their product, and they have a membership program for teachers, for school districts. It is called Backpack. So rather than paying for your own personal account, our school district can pay for different membership plans. We most likely would need the 26 to 50 range, as we have about 45 teachers, and that'd be starting at $2,000 per year. We get a 30-day trial, we get a quote, but student plans are completely free. We have unlimited Padlets, and we have more upload capability if we have a paid Backpack membership. Not only that, we have more user management and access control. We have more privacy. We have the added security. We can do single sign-on. Students don't have to create multiple accounts. We have a little bit more access of controlling how they use Padlet, that it's being monitored. So it's not being used to harass students or any type of cyberbullying. We can put our beautiful CPMS cult and our school logo on it and have our own subdomain. Like I said, monitoring, bigger file uploads. We have more tech support. With a paid account, you get more tech support. We get reports and portfolios. We have integration with our Google apps, and we are a Google school. We use Google everything. So this would be a super easy integration. And I showed this already, but content filtering. Students cannot type in bad words. And we can also set up that we approve anything before they post it. I know I talked pretty quick, and I apologize for that. I cannot speak enough on how much I love using this and how I do see engagement from all students, especially because their names are attached to it. Now, I have it set up with initials, but it is something that you can keep track of who uses it, who's not participating. But I have noticed this huge intake and engagement and participation from students who typically don't participate. So I'm going to stop talking here, and I'm going to leave it with any questions.